The Isle of Wight Zoo is home to 18 tigers, making it one of the largest tiger sanctuaries in Europe. Every day, the zoo's staff have to keep the big cats mentally and physically stimulated. And they do that with different foods, objects and props. Today, they're going to work with Tigress Czarina on a game which will use all of her muscles and her predatory instincts. It's tiger tug-of-war. 6 of the female keepers are going to take on the 12-year-old Tigress to see just how strong she really is.
What's going to happen is Zia's going to come out, all right, and she's going to grab the meat and she's going to pull back. So you guys have got to anchor yourselves to reinforce it. So what we want is a little bit of, you've got to fight, all right.
While the girls get prepared, Paul attaches some prey to the end of the tug-of-war rope, which should spark Zia's interest.
These guys are damn strong, so Zia's going to come out, she's going to grab the meat, she might choose that, she might choose a leg, and then she's going to just pull back. Hopefully we're going to get this type of reaction when she gets her mouth around it and she pulls. That's right, carry on like that, big boy.
The prey is secured to the 15-metre rope and Zia is let in.
OK, Charlotte!
Zia quickly spots the new addition to her enclosure. And the moment it starts moving, her instincts kick in.
Okay. Right, there she goes. Hold it.
She grabs the prey and holds on.
Right, come on, girls. Ready? Hey! We've made it!
In the wild, the tiger's powerful limbs and flexible backbone help them to chase their prey over short distances. But it's their strong jaws and teeth that enable these hunters to catch and feed on their victims so successfully.
Basically, she's just waiting for a response from us. We can't do anything because she's holding everyone back. It's just a matter of time before she decides to let go. And we grab the meat and run, and then we just got to let the rope run and then just try to hold on for a bit to see if we get another response out of it. It's just a matter of waiting. She could just run with it if she wanted to. It's a matter of just seeing what she does.
Girl power.
Yeah. Girl power, yeah.
Zia lets go of the rope for just a second.
Come on.
Giving the girls the chance to try and pull again.
Okay, give her a little bit of slack. Okay, she's gonna pull back. Just give her a little bit of slack. Give her a little bit of slack. She's gotta work for it.
The 6 girls on the other end of the rope are simply no match for Zia's powerful jaws.
Yeah, go give her more. Let her run with it a bit, and then you guys can pull.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
This is actually a full-body workout for Zia. As well as her jaw, she's using her neck, her back, and her leg muscles.
All right, let's let her slack again. Let's just relax a bit, all right? But hold on to the rope, because she's gonna decide to get up and pull back. So we'll just see what happens. She's taking the rope with her now. The whole challenge of it is trying to outthink the cat, because you're dealing with someone with phenomenal amount of strength, you know, that's behind it. So the next thing is to tackle one of the males, and that'll be really interesting. See just exactly what we're dealing with as well, because they're probably going to react far differently than what Zia would do.
The Isle of Wight Zoo is best known for its big cats. But also living here are primates and a bunch of creepy crawlies and reptiles that live in part of the zoo called Jeepers Creepers. One of them is an elderly iguana, Ian.
Put your tongue in. Put your tongue in.
Of late, he's been feeling out of sorts, so primate supervisor Lisa is nursing him back to health.
Ian, a few months ago, suffered an infection in 2 vertebrae of his spinal column. And what this was doing, it caused an infection which causes swelling, and that was pressing down on his spinal column, which effectively paralysed his back legs. He's been treated for the infection, but the problem with reptiles, their metabolism is very, very slow. So what would be a week course of antibiotics for us isn't with reptiles, it's months worth of treatment. The infection through the last X-ray has gone down, so there is now no reason for his legs to be paralysed. But because it's been months, he's now got muscle wastage in the back of his legs. He's got the use back, so we're now starting just to help him build up his muscles in the back of his legs. And through the vet advice, it was in the water because it will relax him because it takes all the weight off his body, and we can slowly start working, trying to get the muscles in his back legs going again. Isn't it, Ian? Yes.
Now, iguanas are very good swimmers, but in the wild they don't choose to spend that much time in the water. They only tend to take a dip to seek protection from predators.
He seems to be enjoying it quite a bit at the moment because he's new to it. We're giving him the water treatment every other day, but he's having work done in his legs every morning to see if we can get some use of his back legs. He's now getting more of a kick back in his back feet. So it is slowly working, but it's just such a long process with reptiles. It's quite relaxing for me as well.
More and more people are keeping reptiles as pets, but medically there's little known about them, so they're difficult to treat. For Ian, though, the hydrotherapy seems to be working, and at the end of the session, he gets to enjoy his favourite pastime.
Isn't that nice? Normally we come out and he can have a sunbathe with us because obviously they thoroughly enjoy the sun, and then it'll be back home for him.
The zoo cares for 23 big cats, and the staff's main aim is to keep them healthy. But unfortunately, illness is inevitable. Tigers are extremely good at masking poor health, but the keepers noticed something wasn't quite right with 14-year-old Czarina. There were no obvious symptoms, but she lost her spark.
I take my hat off to the team, you know, certainly for recognising that there was something amiss, because we just sense instinctively in our gut, you know, she's just not Czarina, she's not right.
Vet Ian Green was called to examine her. Unfortunately, he found what could be a serious problem.
I can feel a lump at the back end of her abdomen here. It's certainly at least, you know, tangerine size, but, you know, with other tissue around, but it could be bigger than that. Now, yeah, so that could be bladder tumour, but it could be something in somewhere like the cervix. The only way we're going to know is with exploratory surgery.
Today, Ian is back to operate on Czarina. It's a tense time for everyone. If she does have a tumour in her bladder, it could prove fatal. Operating on the cats needs to be done on site, and there's an added pressure because vet Ian has to work in a makeshift surgery.
Ian's absolutely fantastic, and you know, he approaches everything in his work very methodically, very sensibly. There's always a degree of calculated calm about the situation with Ian, but it is a big job for him, and you know, not something he's going to take lightly.
As soon as Ian opens Czarina, he finds the lump. And it's massive. But it's not in the bladder, as he feared.
Glad to stand here and it's tiny. Okay, so the mass is in her uterus. My worst fears were that I would find that the mass that we'd felt in her abdomen was going to be a bladder tumour, and the majority of bladder tumours tend to be nasty and inoperable. That was my worst fear. Thankfully, that's not been the case, and the mass that we were feeling is a mass in the body of her uterus.
It's been a tough week for us all because we didn't know this morning, is that the last time that we're going to be seeing our friend basically, you know, alive. If Ian had found that the tumour was in the bladder and it was inoperable, then obviously it would have only left us one decision to make, and we'd already discussed that.
The mass appears to be confined to Czarina's uterus. Ian now needs to ensure there are no more lumps and then decide what to do next. At the Isle of Wight Zoo in the medical room, vet Ian Green has found a huge mass in Tigress Czarina's uterus. He now needs to ensure there are no further problems.
Quick feel as far as I can forwards. Anything else?
Looking for any second.
Anything abnormal? Okay, nothing abnormal within reach. And there's no evidence that it's broken out through the wall of the uterus, you know, which is good as well. Sometimes some tumours will break out through the wall of an organ and then seed all around the inside of the abdomen, but there's no evidence that it's done that.
Ian can't find any further lumps, but there could be a problem with one of her ovaries.
See the difference in size between the two ovaries? This is her right ovary and that's her left ovary. Okay, so there could be something, abnormal in there. A lot of tumours, uterine tumours and things, are severely hormonally influenced, and so it may be that whatever's going on in this ovary is pumping out abnormal levels of hormone.
To everyone's relief, the mass is confined to her uterus, with the exception of a possible tumour in her ovary. The best option for Czarina will be to have an ovariohysterectomy. This means removing her uterus and her ovaries.
It's all removable and we've got the potential for curing this animal.
A biopsy will need to be sent off to determine whether the mass is benign or malignant, but with the lump fully removed, Czarina will hopefully make a full recovery.
A tiger's not just a tiger, and everything that makes up Czarina is on that table basically, and we know what there is to lose. It's not just another tiger, it's Czarina, and Czarina to us is an individual, completely unique like every other tiger here. She's our friend at the end of the day and we love her to bits, so we're looking forward, we hope, keeping our fingers crossed, we're looking forward in the next month or so to seeing her back to her usual self, bossing everyone around and generally keeping everyone in check. So we're really hopeful that with the right aftercare that in a month's time we can report that everything's back to normal.
Czarina's going to need at least 2 weeks of bed rest to allow the wound and herself to heal. And while she's on the road to recovery, across the park there's bad news for the zoo's newest addition. The baby mongoose lemur has sadly died. Mum Sawyer was the perfect mother for the first 4 days of the baby's life. But on the 5th morning, the keepers found the infant alone on the floor. For its own safety, it had to be taken away and hand-reared.
Lisa took Bean home in the evening and was feeding every 1.5 to 2 hours around the clock, small amounts and often, to get the nutrition in and rehydrate the little thing. But unfortunately, in the early hours of the morning, we lost the fight for the baby. Things deteriorated quite quickly during the course of the night, and with something that tiny and that young, then really you're living on a knife's edge basically when you're trying to hand raise. And it was kind of expected in a sense, but obviously we were hoping for the best as well, so we're all feeling pretty sad today.
A post-mortem revealed the baby was a boy and had died from an abnormality in its throat. This meant that he couldn't swallow properly or get nutrients into his stomach. Now, in the wild, mongoose lemurs' numbers are dangerously low, so it's vital they breed in captivity. And of course, whilst it's very sad that this little one didn't make it, Charlotte is confident that Sawyer should have another chance at motherhood.
I think she really did try her best to get that baby on board, but there was, a defect there, an abnormality in its anatomy, which was disallowing it to actually to live. Basically, at the end of the day, there's nothing that either we or the mother could have done. We're very much inspired to continue with this group, and we will definitely be allowing them to breed again. And fingers crossed, this time next year we're going to have some more positive news of a baby that actually survives. So this was, it was one of those things. Basically, these things happen, bad luck. But yeah, I think it will be the case that next year we'll have hopefully another mongoose lemur that we can be welcoming into the world.
Tigers need to kill to eat. But in the wild, only around 1 in 20 of their attacks are successful. This, however, doesn't stop them from trying to catch their prey. But before a big cat attempts an attack, it will stalk its victim. It's an important behaviour for all of these types of animal, and something the zoo encourages.
A cat, when it stalks, essentially it's using what it can to get as close as it can to its prey. Because quite often in the cat world, the cats, 90% of the time, don't run as fast as the mammals that they catch will run. Other predators might actually cause the animals to run and drop dead of a heart attack after 3 hours of running after it, like a lot of the canine species will. But cats don't. If they don't hit the prey within the first few metres, they'll give up because it's not worth expending the energy to catch a prey item that's going to run faster than you. So they really need to catch it in the first few seconds of the ambush exploding out onto the animal.
Once the cat has caught its prey, it uses its powerful jaws and claws to keep hold of it, just like Sultan is doing. He's a large male. Now it's his turn for a game of tiger tug-of-war, with 7 of the keepers.
Okay, let him go, let him go, let him go.
Let go.
Okay, pull.
A tiger's canine teeth can reach 3 inches in length, and 1 bite is enough to kill its prey. Their claws can be 1.5 inches long, and they're as sharp as razors. Unless a tiger wants to let go of its victim, it doesn't usually get away.
What he's doing is working all his core muscles, right down from the muscles that are on the claws, all up his legs, his abdomen, his back, his neck. It's his jaw muscles, every little bit of muscles working, even the movement of his tail, is helping him balance and getting his grip. All right, let him go. So it's all working really quite well from that point of view. Okay, let's hold him. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Sultan weighs an impressive 40 stone, but male tigers can reach up to 50 stone and have the traction pull of around 15 men.
Right, straighten up. Okay, let him go. Let it go. Let it just go. Give him a bit more slack. Okay, all right, hold, tug.
This is a perfect way of encouraging Sultan's natural behaviour. He's worked hard for his prize, and he has no intention of letting it go. But it seems the keepers aren't going to give up without a fight either.
What he's doing now is probably what they probably do if an animal starts slowing down, stops kicking and fighting. It's just his response to it. So he's holding on, and watch his tail flick as well. It's all sort of body language, how he's feeling. He's all hyped up and quite worked up about it. So it's quite cool. It's a bit of a game of cat and mouse, and we're the mouse, definitely.
The keepers are simply no match for this big male. As well as being much stronger than the 7 people, Sultan has found another way to ensure that the ball stays with him.
Oh, he's clever. Oh, yes, he's clever. What he's done is he's jammed the ball behind the one log, so he gives himself a nice point of leverage. So it's going to be really quite hard for us to get the ball out. So the best thing we could try and do, is if we give him as much slack as possible, and actually let's see if he actually releases the ball. And then we're going to try and pull it in as quick as possible so there's a bit of movement as well.
Sultan is getting tired, so the keepers make their move.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But it seems he was just having a well-deserved break. Sultan is the clear winner.
Yeah, that's his prize, and more so. So it's his reward at the end of the day. Off he goes with it, and we can give him a nice big supper tonight as well, because he's earned it. He's worked hard for it, so it just all works out really well for tigers in the end of the day. Yeah, feels like they've done a hard workout, and I just need to go and have some lunch myself.